matudanon ug may integridad. At tagi siya abli nga kasing-kasing o pag-isip aron iya madungog bisan ang mga hunghong ug mga dungoy-ngoy kabalaka ug kahadlok sa iyang ug among mga kaigsuonang kabus. Ug gama ng Dios amo ikaw gihangyo nga imong panalipdan ang among mahal nga presidente sa tanang matang nga sa anang matang nga dautan ug atagi siya mayong panglawas. Ug kini among ginaampot inaagi sa among Ginoong Kristo imong anak nga buhi ug hari uban kanimo ug sa Espiritu Santo Dios nga usa hangtod sa kangturan. Amen. And this we ask, merciful Father, graciously hear us.
Jesus, make us ever aware that there are people around us who are in greater need of your help and loving kindness than we do. We pray for them, especially the poor and the homeless. We pray for our government to show in concrete ways a love of preference for the poor and to inspire those who are in abundance to live simply and to share what they have with the needy. This we ask.
Merciful Father, graciously hear us.
We offer to God the gifts and needs of the Filipino youth. May the good Lord grant them grace and wisdom and keep them humble in heart and teachable in spirit. May His loving kindness and gracious mercies be poured over the young people of our nation so that they can be effective channels of truth, courageous witnesses of faith, and authentic agents of societal renewal. This we ask.
Merciful Father, graciously hear us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Muqala rabbukum udhuni astajib lakum. Amin. Allah, the Almighty, the Forgiving and the Most Merciful, here in the presence of President Duterte and our PPCRV family, we convey peace. Peace is development, development is peace, and peace is the essence and fruit of governance, anchored on moral obligation to handle and deliver programs and services with utmost sincerity, commitment, and goodwill. May this essence of peace reflect in the President, in us, and in each and all Filipinos. This we ask, Ya Allah.
Merciful Father, graciously hear
Hear us.
us.
God, our merciful Father, mindful of your mercy, we believe that you will grant us all that we prayed for, and especially the grace to live in the shadow of your presence. We make our prayer through Christ our Lord.
Amen. Thank you very much. And please be seated. To give her welcome remarks and the overview of PPCRV, may we call on the National Chairperson of the Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting, Chairperson Ambassador Henrietta Tambunting de Villa.
It's good to be here. PPCRV is very excited to be in Malacanang Palace, ang palasyo ng pagbabago, where the man on whom we put our hope that change will happen in our lives lives. We come from every province of the Philippines, representing the 700,000 PPCRV volunteers that took care of the 2016 national and local elections. And we come to greet you, dear President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, to congratulate you on your electrifying election as the 16th President of our beloved country, and to let you know that all of us in PPCRV pray for you to succeed. Others before you have tried, attaining some good, yes, but not enough. And at the end of their seasons, so many Filipinos, especially the poor, still have not reached that promised haven of enough food on their table, roof over their heads, and jobs to sustain their lives and those of their families, safety in the communities. Opportunities and the law, even the law, seem to be tilted in favor of the rich and the famous. Then you came along, an entirely different breed. At times alarming, in the next breath enticing. To be honest, PPCRV's voters' education did not know where to peg you. But we saw how people of all demographics resonated with you. Even amidst colorful asides and volatile language, what clearly shone out was your sincerity. Though corruption in politics has made us jaded, and we tend to look on politicians as all bluster and bluff, wrapped in self-vested interest or enrichment, yet we believe you when you tell us that your administration, this is a clean government. Being a people of faith, we are comforted when you say there must never be a separation between God and the state. And we feel that you mean it. PPCRV's vision is CHAMP. What is CHAMP? PPCRV asks you please to include in your agenda of change the eradication of vote buying and selling, a horrible, horrible crime against democracy, against the sanctity of the ballot, that has eroded our election culture, killing the voter's conscience, just as bad as drug addiction kills the soul. No matter what election system we choose, manual or automated, and automated is good, what is so frustrating is that vote buying and selling increase and multiply with impunity. You know, we didn't have a hard time watching the presidential contest because you were miles and miles ahead of all the other candidates, winning almost all the regions, even the local absentee voting and the overseas absentee voting. So we would like to ask you, especially President Duterte, to help us eradicate or start stamping out this corruption of the elections, which is vote buying and vote selling. And we hope that when the time comes for you to appoint officials in COMELEC, the voice of the PPCRV and other bona fide election groups you will also listen to. Kami po ay nagpunta rito, bumibisita sa inyo, at ang galing Pilipino ay nagdadala kami ng pasalubong. Pero dahil ang PPCRV, wala naman po kaming malaking corporations o big business, kaya ang aming mga dinala po ay fruits of our labors. Sa totoo nga po, nakakatuwa dahil sa kagustuhan ng ating mga volunteers na sila ay sinasabi ko nga sa inyong magagaling na tao sa PMS, sa Office of the President, nung kami ipinulong, they are of the masses, mga people of the earth, our volunteers. Kanina ho, para lang matuwa kayo at hindi makasagabal naman sa mga patakaran dito sa palasyo, bumili ho lahat ng sapatos kasi kailangan daw nakasapatos, hindi daw pwede ang naka-rubber shoes o nakasandalyas, no? Kaya naku, lalo na yung sa mga Mindanao po natin ay talagang nagpunta sa SM at saka sa Robinson. Kaya para lang makita nyo na sila ituwan-tuwa, makapunta rito, makita kayo at madinig kayo. Ayun ho ang alay namin, kaunting mga fruits of PPCRV's voters education. Meron po kaming vest, pag daw baka giniginaw kayo sa bahay pagbabago. Meron din ho kaming t-shirt na of course hindi pwedeng suot sa loob ng barong, pero baka daw pag natutulog kayo, pwede nyo suot. at lalong-lalo na may pangarap po sila na sana kayo ay maging honorary volunteer ng PPCRB. That from here on, you are volunteer forever. Dala-dala po ng ating taga-Maguindanao, Father Dave, ito ho sa Bontoc Lagawe, si Rowena Ngitaw at our youngest volunteer at representing the board si Myla Villanueva para ho inyong matanggap yung munting alaala. So, Rowena, Bontoc Lagawe po, ni Myla. IT po yan, may dalang libro sa inyo. Kung may panahon pa raw kayo magbasa. Kaya po kami ay nagpapasalamat po sa inyong maigi na binigyan nyo kami ng space in spite of your busy schedule to be here. From here on, we look on you as our champ PPCRB volunteer. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Ambassador De Villa. To introduce our guest of honor and keynote speaker, may we call on Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdia.
Ambassador Henrietta De Villa, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor to present to you President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Kindly sit down. Salamat po. A lot of you, siguro hindi niya ako kilala. I have been just the mayor for, sa bagay, maiksi lang, 23 years. Mayor ng Davao City. I have been a congressman during the 11th Congress. We were the Congress that impeached Mayor Estrada. And at one time, I was also the vice mayor for 3 years. To my daughter, yung nagbubugbog ng sheriff, if you recall. Well, small town boy lang po ako. Probinsyano ako. I do not claim any greatness to the presidency. Wala ho akong hindi ho ako even the last, hindi ako nakatikim ng mga valedictorian or salutatorian. For 75 lang po ako all the way through. Totoo po. I'm just an ordinary guy who's still wondering why I'm here, bakit ako dumating sa presidency. Hindi naman ho ako tumakbo, parang tumakbo lang. I was even hesitant to present myself. Kaya lang, everybody was, a few guys in the Philippines were really pushing for my candidacy. Initially po, wala akong dadadalang isip to say no because wala akong ambisyon, wala akong pera. Pati I had this family with my at nasabi ko na my wife is suffering sa 3rd stage breast cancer. And I would have wanted to just to be with her. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na magmadilian, but, lalo na naghiwalay kami, so ay balikbayan ako sa dating bahay to be with my wife and children. Ayaw ko kasi magsama ang loob ng mga anak ko. But nagkaroon rin ako ng, we were separated, annulled. And meron akong kinakasamang, meron ako isang anak sa kanya. Kaya nung I think it was in this room, was it? Dito ako nag-take out. Doon yung isang pamilya ko, tapos doon rin ang isang pamilya. Siguro, tawa-tawa itong mga gago sa Malacanang. Sabi ko, ayaw pa ninyo yan. First time, dalawang first lady. Match it with... Well, anyway, that is my village of life. Ang ano ko, everybody knows that. Right at the start, I said, if I get to be a candidate, siya, hindi ako tumatanggap ng mga, and I tell you, mega words, lusyutan. I refuse their contribution. And along the way, it was really a shoestring budget. But ang ano ko kasi, niwala akong barangay captain sa Luzon, not a single barangay captain sa Visayas. But Mindanao, well, it was a bit gray all the time. Kasi karamihan sa administrasyon. But at that time, I thought or I was thinking that if I'd win, it would be just a matter of habulan talaga, dikitan. Nung lumabas yung results, I could not even imagine myself the almost more than 6 million yung sheer majority ko. Saan ito galing? Wala akong partido. Well, moribond naman yung PDP. It was resuscitated when I filed my certificate under the wings. So I thought that there has to be a message for this. Kumari mga 100, 150, sabi ko man. Pero with the 6 million until now, anong gusto ng tao? Well, anyway, I am not beholden to anybody. So, anak lang ako ng migrant sa Mindanao. Mahirap lang po ako. Ang nanay ko, maestra lang. All the way, ang nagtulong sa akin, yung mga taga-Davao lang rin na may pera. But kung sabihin mo dito mga contributions, wala. Wala ako. Kasi kung may magdating, babiyahe ako. Kung walang magdating pera, standby lang ako sa Davao. But that kind of message from the people is 6 million plus. 15 million all in all. Huwag na natin bilangin yung margin ko lang. May hinihingi yan. Ang hinihingi lang nila is, kagaya ko rin. That's all that I'm asking is, buhay na mapayapa na tama. So, alam mo, you'll have to, I don't know if you pag-akyat, no? Because an incoming president has a few minutes with the incumbent president bagong ihatid siya sa labas. But si President Aquino nagsabi talaga, I really do not know if I'd congratulate you or wish you luck. Sa totoo lang, kung pabalikin mo ako, ma'am, ayaw ko na. Ayaw ko na totoo. Na-ember na lang ako doon sa, and probably you must have taken notice of it. I was talking, baski saan, without me knowing even my persona intimately. The huge crowds. Baski saan ako, it's always filled to the bins ang plaza. And even sa hometown, of course I lost. Taga doon siya. Pero ang ano ko, I was inspired by the multitude. And yun na pala, ang that was really, I should have really, for the reason na wala akong partido, I didn't really bother to sabihin, bigyan mo masyadong importansya. Maybe the enthusiasm of hearing a new guy here and there. Ngayon, nung nanalo ako, sabi ko, isa lang to. Gusto ang pagbabago. Now, meron akong sa tao, ha? I have this dynamics with some people, but not all. When I was mayor, I was the favorite whipping boy of the human rights. I do not blame De Lima. Trabaho niya yan. Kasi kung ako ang ilagay mo dyan, yayariin talaga kita. Before I became a mayor, I was a prosecutor for 10 years. I was doing trial work. And so I could see the very imbalance sa money, corruption, and the plain justice na alam natin. Marami akong nakitang kaso na hinahandle ko na I lose the case because ang Cebu maging tawas, ang pulis hindi sisipot, clearly ang prosecutor nabibili pati because of the corrosive effect of money. Ang kalaban natin dito is greed and the desire of other. I would assume na ganun. That you papasok ka dito sa droga, it is your greed for money. And I would just assume that you are destroying my country kasi alam ko talaga ano ang nangyayari sa mga biktima nila. Noon pa, 23 years akong mayor, I was a prosecutor. Kaya fingertips ko na kung ano ang nangyayari sa Pilipinas. Kaya nung mayor ako, galit talaga ako. Kasi yung isang pamilya, matamaan ng isang addict, it is not only the guy who's dysfunctional, it is the family who becomes dysfunctional too. Mayroon kasing development sa ating bayan at maawa ka sa mga kapatid natin. A lot of them, 5 million now, are out of the country working on their ass to death just to eke out a living to support a family, to send a child to school and to feed the family. Hanggang ngayon, papauwi ko na lang, kukunin ko na lang kasi bumagsak yung because of the oil. And those are the imponderables of life. When it's good, it pours. When it bads, it's really an arid thing. Ngayon, papauwiin ko yung iba kasi walang sweldo at saka niluloko lang ng mga... Kaya doon at may sentimento ako sa mga Arabo. Kasi, you can just imagine, totoo yung abuses. Sexual or other, lahat yan. Pati yung walang sweldo, tapos isang beses silang pakainin. Parang hindi naman tao itong mga ito. Kaya ako, I sent somebody, this should be brought to them immediately. If there's nobody to pay for them, bring them home. Yung iba, yung passport, doon sa mga amo. That's the practice of these idiots. Kinukuha nila yung passport and it's not returned to them. Well, I don't know. So sabi ko doon kay Yasay, tan mo yan doon tapos bigyan mo ng travel document. Kusapin mo mga doon. So, we're doing everything we can. Itong Cebu, dalawang takot nila. What's the reason why I won by landslide? Hindi naman ako kilala. Kasi nababalitaan nila, pinapatay ko. Balitaan nila that security is the answer. Sense of security na yung mga anak nilang pinapapaaral nila dito, hindi mamatay, they do not fall victims to rapes and killing, hold up. O yung naman anak nila, baka malulong sa droga. So yung sakripisyo ng tatay pati nanay, when the father goes out of the country, or the mother, or both of them goes out, automatic yan. Because the absence of the father and mother, it is dysfunctional family. Yung iba, na they're left to the care of their grandparents, o sa mga kapitbahay at an early age, yun ang vulnerable talaga. At yung iba naman, default victims, nire-rape, pinapasok ng bahay, tapos yung panahon namin, matanda na ako, ang nire-rape doon, wala naman nire-rape na babae. It is only now that you have this bestiality of seeing a spectacle of a 1-year-old child being raped. Kaya ako, I earned this authority. Kaya sinabi ko nung mayor ako, umalis kayo dito sa Davao. Ayaw ninyong umalis in front of the media, national. Ayaw ninyong umalis dito. If a drug pusher, patayin ko kayo. Tapos, walang istorya. I am willing to accept the consequences. I assume for responsibility at okay lang sa akin. Whatever happens, when I'm the president now, I'd like to repeat it to you again. Itong problema ng bayan, especially drugs, I'm putting at stake my honor, my life, and the presidency. Kung matanggal ako dito, fine. Wala naman akong dyan sa, ayaw ko nga tumakbo eh. O di sige, mag-uwi na ako sa amin. Military kudeta, you want to make a stage a kudeta, fine. Tawagan ninyo ako. Ako ang mag-swear sa inyo yan. Ladies and gentlemen, the military would like to take over the country. Ako pa, raise your right hands. I, Major General, would like to be the ruler of this country. Go ahead. Tignan natin kung... Kaya makita ninyo, there's a lot of killing, and I have maintained my cold silence. Nag-warning na ako. Wala akong magawa. You want me to fight the drug war? I am not fighting a crisis. I'm fighting a war. Ang mga amo nila, drug lords, because media is fun of, where's the big fish? Duterte, mga pulis, you kowtow and you protect, kasi may pera kayo. Wala na yan dito, nasa China. Even the matrix, aming intelligence, talaga, yung board, may 5 muka doon, na may pangalan. Of course, they are aliases. Saan ko hanapin? Doon sa China. You have this big digital map. Real time. Focus lang nila. Saan ba natin ang sunod? Yan. Bandakan. Yan. I-focus mo. Yan yung tindahan dyan. Dyan mo ihulog. Tapos sabihin mo yung pera, kundi niya sa tondo, may nakasakay doon na kotse naghintay. So how now, who are here on the ground? It's the apparatus. Yung mga tenyente niya, tapos yung mga basurero. Yun tawag niyang basurero eh. Sabi niya, bakit mo pinapatay ang pati? Anak ka ng... That, if I have to stop the problem, I have to deny them the market. And before I can do that, I have to exterminate the apparatus. Kasi kung wala na magpabili, walang tanggap, kung mapatay ko na ito lahat ng tenyente, then the business of Cebu would no longer be viable. No, sabi, Duterte, extrajudicial, and I never really, I never said yes, I said no. But ngayon, inipit ko ng lahat. Look, it's 570 to date who are surrendering. Tignan mo ginawa nila sa bayan natin. Kaya ako galit. Kaya talagang galit, as in galit. Noon pa, mayor pa ako. Kasi dito na ako naka-experience. Mayor pa ako, huwag na yung presidente. Na isang kumpare ko magtawag sa akin, iiyak sa telepono. Rude po, pwede pa kang pumunta dito? Insular Hotel. That's a high-end, because of my friend, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Pumunta ako doon. Sabi ko, anong diferensya? But I could hear music inside the wagon, o yung van, blaring. At I could distinctly hear the shouts of a woman. So pagpunta ko, embrace me, umiiyak. Almost to a desperation. Sabi ko, why? Sabi niya, Mayor, sorry talaga, pero yung baril ko kasi naiwan ko sa opisina ko sa baba. Kinuha ng anak ko at dinala doon sa, nire-rape niya yung kapatid niya na babae, elder. putang ina to. So sabi ko, I was, kung akyatin ko to, o yung pulis, baka magkabarila, pati yung dalawang anak ng matuloy ang mamatay. Sabi ko, tiisin mo na lang. Mag-wear off yan. So, pinasok ko yung asawa ko, sabi ko, wag mo na lang kasi you're avoiding scandal. Sige ka iyak dyan. Sumama na lang kayo sa akin, let's have coffee somewhere else. Dahil naghanap kami ng mga kape-kape, store, but the wife was, sinuwi ko sila. Tapos yun, mga 10 o'clock, i-call me, sabi niya, tulog na yung anak niya na, one time, I'll give it to you raw. One time, there was this reunion, Christmas reunion. So, kita-kita, dumating itong adik, kita niya yung karga-karga ng kapatid niya babae na anak. Sabi niya, ito pala yung anak, ano ko, pabangkin ko, tingnan ko. Tapos, in the merrymaking, wala. So, everybody was in panic. So, hanap sila kung saan. Pagdating doon sa 70 meters away doon sa, yung Mandog yan yung taga Davao. Yung taga Davao, yung Mandog. It's a settlement just beside the river. Yung pobre na settlement. Yung can afford lang doon. Kita yung bata, nakabukas na yung abdominal cavity. Ngayong nahuli, pardon my sensitivity. Putang ina ka, bakit mo naman animal ka? Sabi, ay ganon kasi ako, Mayor. Pagka tinamaan ako, nagyayabang pa ang putang ina niya. Pagka, kung walang iba, pati yung kambing namin, wala. Salvage time talaga tayo dito. Bakit kubuhayan yung putang inang yun? May bukas yan. Ang pamilya kasi magsabi, wag na lang demandahin mo yun, kapatid eh. Ganon ang nangyari sa pamilya. Pag nahuli na, dito isang gobernador, nanalo ngayon. Nasa kulungan pa. Yung anak niyang isa, congressman. Nung last election, and before this, tatakbo sana ng gobernador. Ibangag. Kung dala namin dyan sa airport, kasi parehab dito, alam mo sa airport nagkalat. Umiyak tapos parang bata, ayaw talaga magpadala. Yung nanay, congressman ngayon, tatay nanalo pagka mayor, sabi ko, patay na lang natin to. So yung nanay, mayor, sabi man, mama, ayaw ko magpunta doon. Only child, walang asawa. Yung only child, alam mo, ang nanay kasi, nanay, mayor, wag na lang, kaawa, sige. Ayan, nakalak palagi sa bahay nila. Nanalo ang tatay rin kasi may graft and murder mo siguro. Ngayon, graft and corruption nandyan sa provincial jail. Yan ang istorya dito. Kaya ako walang atrasan. Kung matanggal ako sa trabaho, fine. Dito. Kung yan lang ang patakot sa akin, impeach, go ahead. Kudita kayo? Sige, kudita kayo dyan. Ako ba mag-swear in sa inyo? Sige, ilang general kayo gustong mag-take over? Mahirap yan kasi may problema tayo. It's war. It's not a crisis. 700 ang nag-surrender. PDEA says 2 years ago that there are 3 million addicts in this country. That's 2 years ago. Now, incremental increase by the use of drugs. Place it at about, a conservative rate, dagdagan mo ng 700. So, thereon 700, it's about 3,700,000. Saan ko ito ilagay? Ito kasi user. Puser tagayan. Huwag mo sabihin na user ka user. Kung anak ka ni Ayala, ni Gukong may maniwala pa ako. Pero kung taga-Tondo ka, blighted area sa Davao, hindi ako I'm not trying to insult my fellow men. Dumaan ako sa hirap. Talagang 1956, nakita ko bahay namin sa Davao, dinemolis. If I close my eyes and take a deep breath, I could still imagine yung amoy ng water lilies doon, pati yung tubig. Kaya, okay, masyado yung dahil mahirap. Mahirap rin ako. Kaya wag ninyo ang bulahin. Poverty and whatever cannot be used because it is already the nation that you are trying to destroy by being a member of that apparatus. Hindi na ito basta isang salita because I have ordered the opening of the military camps because ang military lang ang may mga big spaces reservation. Sabi ko sa kanila, give me 1 hectare in every region. I have to build rehab centers all over the country. Apurado lang yung mga gago eh. It cannot come overnight. I have to design a parang cottage. Tapos I have to employ doctors, plenty of them, and pay them the rate that they are getting from the private sector para they will stay there and treat the Filipino. I would need a lot of nurses. Sabihin mo lang 500,000 o 3 million, whichever is correct. I still have to worry even if it is only 1 Filipino. O yan ang problema ko ngayon. But it will really come to pass that we have just to do something about our countrymen. I have repeatedly told you, we cannot build a nation by killing our own citizens, and that goes for wars. MI, MN, pati itong komunista. That's why simultaneously, even before I took my oath of office, talagang naglakad na ako. I was sending already people to talk to them. Kasi pag hindi ito natapos, pag hindi ko ito natapos itong problema sa drugs, walang Pilipino na presidente makatapos. Tingnan mo. 7 years from now, double the addicts by the increase. Then we will have the narco-politics. There's a book, Ion Grillo. It can be bought anywhere, online. This is the history of the failed states of South America because of drug cartels. Ngayon, itong mga mayaman, may mga eroplano. Yung iba talagang gumagamit. Pati yan na dyan na makita mo mga biligo. But they use cocaine and heroin. It is not as destructive as shabu. Because it is grown naturally. Poppy yan eh. So it's organic. But itong shabu is a deadly mix of chemicals. 1 year of constant use sa shabu would shrink the brain of a person, and therefore rehab is no longer viable. Sabi ng forensics. Lumiit na eh. So kung ikaw may pamilya ka, pumasok dyan, may isang inutil ka dyan, na magnanakaw ng pera mo, anong bagay-bagay ipabili sa labas, then after that, if there's no more to steal, they go to some other people's house. And by the time they go there, nakabugog na, they rape the mother, the wife. Kaya tayo walang security. Even if you, ngayon, you leave your house, maraming gonggong, baka pumasok sa, at in Davao, noon ang ginawa nila, pero yun, it was a problem. Because at Davao noon, whoever claimed to be an Al-Samasa member or against the communists, were given freely arms. Nakikita ko, nagmamanufacture na sila sa mga military camp, yung paltik. just to fight the communists. Nung panahon na wala ng komunista, with so many hands in the hands of the idiots, they started. Papasok sila ng bahay, i-hostage nila yung bahay, and then they demand money, and since you know that you cannot get more than 50,000 every withdrawal, so mag-standby yan sila doon for how many days? At the same time, they eat and border, they drink and they rape every night, the wife, the children, and the maids. O, anong gawain ko pag gano'n? Pag nakakarap mo ako, sorry ka. I mean, I'm sorry. It's not easy to take human life, but I am sorry. Ganon talaga. One less evil. The last one would be me. Kasi tigapatay mo ako ng tao, but I'm ready to face God. And I would just say, well, I am at your disposal. Pero kung mapunta ako ng impyerno, hindi ako magpalugi. Hindi naman talaga ako yung gagawin, napasubo lang. Ang una kong gawin, papuntahin mo ako ng impyerno ito, ang unang sipain ko, Satanas, putang ina ka, umalis ka dyan. May bagong tigas dito, hindi, balbakuha yung buntot mo, animal ka. Bakit ako punta ng hell? Hindi naman ako, wala mong evil intent. Ngayon, yan dyan, wala ako, pasensya ako. Either you turn in, sacrifice, told the barangay captains, let them report every day in the meantime. Keep them busy. Basketball, just keep track of their whereabouts. When the time comes, I would begin to, yung parang prefab na lang. And they'll go into a military camp. Tapos minsan, sabi ng korte kasi hindi pa yung pa-post up pa sayaw. Of course, they should. Part of really rehab is to do physical. Kasi pinapa-post up, nandito naman itong human right. Ano ba naman yung post up? They are not supposed to, they should be allowed, they should be ordered to work to keep them busy. To keep their minds, or at least tire them out. At the end of the day, they no longer cannot be thinking of Cebu. Yan ang storya dyan. Now, I'll go to this corruption. Sabi nila, which is better, Duterte? Con us, Congress itself, or, alam mo ganito. Gusto ko con. But during the meeting, sabi ko, how much do you spend con? Depende. Kung matapos nila kaagad, maybe 10 billion. Pero if they tarry for long, how much? 30 to 50 billion. Ako, kalukuhan to. Kasi para mga ugok mag-isa-salita lang yung buong Total ng Constitution natin, you know the Constitution, you saw it. Except for the few amendments, the wordings of the Constitution from the time of the Americans in 1935 up to the in between the years of martial law, you have this mga kay Marcos, then eventually itong ating Constitution na yan. Ang aking kasi is like this. We should not be too judgmental about the members of Congress. Kasi ito sila, you can tell by the track records that they have. Ito naman have been elected, re-elected, nagpahingalan ng re-elected. If acceptability nila sa tao ganon, so who are we to judge that they are not competent? And besides, Pilipino tayong lahat. Why would I embrace principles that would do sa bayan natin? Leave them because total, ang kanilang produkto will have to be submitted to us for a plebiscite. And for all the time that you'd be crafting a new constitution, I am here, at maswerte na lang, sabihin ko talaga, do not fuck with that constitution, that provision there, because it's no good. Sabihin ko talaga sa kanila. So, ako yung tiwala ninyo. Binigyan na lang rin niyo ako ng 15 million. Then at least maniwala kayo that I will be the last one to agree to anything there that would destroy our country. And even lalo na yung pera. The only reason I won is that I carried the right message. I have to stop corruption. Now I'm telling you, it will really be a clean government for the nth time. I'm telling you that. Tapos, I was telling the message of drugs and criminality. Actually, that was, the centerpiece was really federalism. Pero kung ayaw ng tao, then fine. But we would have to give to the Moro people what they deserve. In 1521, when Magellan landed in the Philippines, somewhere in Leyte, he brought with him Christianity. Please know that 100 years before, Islam was already planted firmly in the island of Mindanao. There have been so many conquerors from the Spaniards up to the Americans. Talagang hindi na because may poste sila and that's the religion of Islam. So lahat doon kasi conquered by Spaniards, Americans, sila mismo na marginalize. But along the way, it created hostility, animosity that until now exists. Unless we correct the historical injustice there, we will never find peace in Mindanao. Sabihin ko sa inyo yan. Nothing short of a configuration somewhere. Federal type if you want. No, if it is not accepted by the surveys because people are really ignorant also about federalism, then let us maintain this government, but you have to not really please or make them happy, but correct the injustice and give them at least what is left of their original homeland, ibigay mo dyan sa kanila. Ang Bangsa Tausug, and that would be on the western side, Zamboanga Archipelago, but dito sa island of Mindanao, that center there is the Lanao, Maguindanao area. Maniwala kayo sa akin. I'm telling you as President, we will never find peace. Ngayon itong CONCON, ang ayaw ko lang dyan is, ang plano ko talaga is to, may orders to the COMELEC, destroy the oligarchs that are embedded in government now. Yan yang sila. I'll give you an example. Publicly. In front of the national media. Ongpin. Roberto. Malakas kay Marcos, trade minister, I think. Then malakas siya in succession. Ramos, he was a hanger-on. Then kay Gloria, kay Pinoy. Now he owns the online. Hindi ko ba malaman yung online niya, yung posta doon sa labas, tagalabas, o itong domestic gambling, kung magkano ang nasa gobyerno. These are the guys na umuupo lang sa aeroplano nila, umuupo lang dyan sa mga mansyon nila kung saan-saan, ay yung pera nila nagpapatak parang metro ng taxi. Sabi ko, destroy. Yang Laguna, Dibay. Whenever I look down there, I'm sorry if you have one there, a triangulo. Wala ka nang makitang, the only space is yung isang triangulo dito. The small one is just to divide maybe the one on the right and on the left. Ang mga fishermen dyan, wala na. Masabi ko, one of these days, I will destroy them. It cannot be na there will be there for all time at the expense of the poor fishermen. I've warned them. Contractualization. Sabi ni Bibot Belio, secretary ng last meeting, kulang siya ng mga tao na mag-inspect sa lahat ng businesses. Sabihin ko sa inyo ngayon, tang-ina nila. Ako mag-warning lang. Mamili ka. Stop contractualization o patayin kita. You know why? Kaya ko magsalita ng ganon? Ang president, while I am here, may immunity ako. Kaya kita patawagin, barilin kita. Dali mas panuraray ang gagong yan. Painitin mong ulo ko. I will call you and slap you one by one. Sanay akong talagang nanandipa ako ng tao, maniwala ka. Maski police doon sa Davao, walang exempted doon. Bakit ako magsayang? Wala pa masyadong tao. I cannot expect every business that buong Pilipinas. Magkamali ka, no tolerance, sirahan kita. I will just order the secretary, look into the record, sirahan mo yan. Kung wala tayong power magsira, punta ko, barilin ko, wala, natapos na. Sirado ang negosyo mo. That's just lang yan, hyperbole. Yan, totoo, presidente mo maril. Pero, gano'n na nga ang tapon sa utak ko. I own no one. I do not serve any vested interest. Lahat ako, may utang ako sa Filipino people. So for the few, I'd like to tell you, nag-landslide ako sa mga overseas workers. Baka hindi nyo ako sa military, nag-landslide ako. Malaman mo yan kasi advance voting yan sila. Kung assign sila sa ibang lugar, may nagbubuto. Police, nag-landslide ako. Kaya gusto ko lang ninyong malaman niya. Baski ako ganun lang, I have the support of... kasi, what does that mean? Marami ang tao, kimilitary ka hindi, maraming tao na tama yung utak. Ako lang hindi nagsyabo na medyo nasira kunti. Putay na huwag niya akong gulahin. Iritan ko kayo. Bullshit. So ito, Constitution, they will be dominated by sila lang yung alam mo itong ang patakbuhin nila, anak nila, asawa nila. We have a problem here sa ating society. We were given to why? Because we remain a feudal state. Kaya ang election bloody. Kaya yung mayor, yung bata niya makipagpatayan doon sa kabila because it means everything to him, including the preservation of life. Kasi ang tao, kahirap we have to improve. Mayor, barangay captain. May nagsakit, takbo sa barangay captain. Tapos barangay captain dalhan niya si mayor. So mayor naman, order hospital. May pera, gobyerno. So walang problema. Yan. So, eskwelahan. Kami mayor, wala kaming high school dyan, marami na. O sige. Tapos, mayor naman, tawag doon sa executive assistant, o kung sino nakaupo ditong tarantadong tambalos-los ang tawag namin dyan sa Bisaya. Sige, priority. Sige, bigyan doon. Ganon yan. Tapos, eskwela, pagkain, edukasyon ng mga bata, trabaho ng asawa niya, gawing casual. Dadobla ang kita nila. Tapos yung anak, bibigyan siya ng mayor. So it's all feudal. So when election time comes, pag sinabi ng barangay captain, ito. Pag sinabi ng mayor, ito yung kandidato natin. Kaya, actually, alam mo, I would like to think that if you believe in God, I'd like to talk to you about destiny. Let me interrupt. Destiny is God-given. destiny is not given to a son of a bitch. Alam mo ako, kilala niya ako. Kayo, alam naman niya, wala akong partido. If at all, ano lang yung for show. Parang for the purposes of that. Now tell me, saan ako kumuha ng 15 million plus with a margin of 6 million? Sige nga. Except in Davao, pero yung Davao Delta Liberation, wala na. They supported liberal. Hindi ako na maulitika. Saan ako kumuha ng boto sa Luzon? Nagwalop ako. I got alam niyo, nag-landslide ako, Metro Manila, pati Calabarzon. But in all the surveys, I was lowest here. Bakit naloko ko itong mga Tagalog? Bisaya, okay lang kasi. Bisaya eh. Totoo ha? Until College of Law, kasi panay lang rin kasi yung Minjula dyan, nandiyan yung Ligarda niya sa kanto na yan. We serve the best child. Pagdating sa classroom, magkatinginan lang sa sige ba? Kala mo nagawa, ha? Okay. Taka ka doon, sige na inom. 75 lang. Pero okay man. Classmate ko, kapabata ko, yung mga taga-Davao. Classmate ko yun si Dominguez. From kindergarten to high school. Valedictorian. Na-expelled ako sa Ateneo. Lumipat ako sa Digos. Duresa, valedictorian. Tugade, mas may classmate San Beda. Valedictorian. Rudy Salalima. Yung ito sa mga. Cum laude yan. Ako, andyan mga taga San Beda, bungbong. Mag-graduate na lang. Hindi pa ako pinasali sa graduation exercise. Hindi dahil hindi nakabayad ng tuition. Buisit, may binaril ako dyan sa loob ng klase. Totoo yan. Uwi ako doon si Bataw, uwi ako ng Davao. Sabi ng nanay ko, Rodrigo, kailangan magkuha ng ticket. Kasi alam niya, nag-practice na kami magpaso dyan sa stage. Sabi man ng pare man magulo kasi ang San Beda. 1972 kami, Marcelo. Sige, putukan. Ang kalaban nandito. Kami na sa labas dyan. Sige, marcha. Sabi man ng pare na, lang daw, ipuspo na lang muna. Nag-attend lang kami ng mass, tapos binless kami. Wala, God. Ewan ko itong San Beda, ma'am. Tapos sabi naman, magbili ako ng ticket kasi noon magtawag ko ng telepono lang. Tapos bilihin mo ticket. Di wala na pala. Sabi ko, wala naman siguro. Visit itong San Beda, nagpunta sa Transfiguration. It's a monastery ng mga Budista. Doon magpunta kayo. It's a very beautiful place. And you should hear the monks sing there. Bukidnon. You should visit the place once upon a time. Okay naman, di naman masyado magulo. Nagpunta yan sila doon, nag-immersion, mga maestra. Alam mo ito si Father Lacson, patay na yan. Sabi niya, baba na lang tayo sa Davao. Okay? Doon man yan si Duterte. Ate na yung estudyante. Because nang na-expelled ako, but I was reconsidered because yung mga professors ko nagsabi, where will this boy go if you don't certify him as a graduate of the school? In-reinstate ako. Naging abogado talaga. I was able to take the bar. I was given a diploma. But if you look at the ECO, yung yearbook namin, wala ako, 1972. But anyway, years after, when I became mayor, pumunta sila doon. Itong Lacson, punta tayo kasi Pero siya good yung nagpa-expel sa akin. Punta doon, I was in Taiwan. So yung may-ari doon ng isang motel, hotel, Abdul Aquino, nagpa-party siya. We have a very small community na Budista. Marami yan dyan, UP Ateneum. But San Beda ko, kunti lang. So, nagparty-party sila. Wala ko, sabi ng mga, you just invite the mother. Hindi kay mayor kung hindi siya makapunta. Hindi, nagpunta na ang nanay ko. Pag-introduce ngayon, sabi nila, oh, Father Lacson, ito si yung nanay ni Mayor Duterte. Hindi naglamaan na sila. Sabi ng nanay ko, o nga pala, Father, yung graduation nila ni Rodrigo, natuloy ba? Kaya patay na kasi. Sabi ba naman ng buang? Hindi ba niya sinabi sa iyo, ma'am? Hindi ba? Na-expel yan kasi. So, pinatawa ko ng nanay ko. When I was confronted by my mother, I knelt down and cried and asked for forgiveness. Sabi ko, ma, patawarin mo talaga ako. Ito gago talaga itong si Father Lacson. Bakit ito? That was the story. Please forgive me, Father. Pati naman, my mother died 2 years ago. So, yan ang... makita mo sa utak ko. Ako, pero ayaw ko talaga yung... I never condone oppression. Kasi when I was a fiscal, I was only investigating 3 cases. Cases against rebellion, military, and police. Pero yung military and police, basta duty connected in the performance of duty, binagsak ko talaga. Yung mga rebellion, pag hindi masyado, lalo ng fabricated evidence. So I was just fair to everybody. And that's what, I still have that value. Ayaw ko ng oppression. Ayaw ko ng ginaganon tao. And we have this problem. And we have this problem in our body politic that money still runs. Kaya the only way really is to, kaya malaking budget ngayon is education. It is up by more than, siguro about 35%. Then health, then agriculture. Wala yung defense ko, konti lang. Wala naman tayo kalaban. Ito lang namang but this campaign against, I cannot, hindi ako do not give me that, sabihin mo, ito mahirap lang. Kasi but Chinese, do not be offended, I'll tell you. My mother is a mestiza Maranao. My lolo sa mother side ko Chinese. My father is a Cebuano. And since we trace our lineage here through the father, if you would ask me, I am a Cebuano, a Visayan. But I never lived there even for a moment. Kaya sabi ko lang, itong mga in-check ganito yan. Hindi in-check na sabihin mo na maramihan isang transaction. Ang in-check ko kunti, dahan-dahan lang. Wholesale yan. Baski mahirap ka, kung makita lang sa 5 pesos sa iyo, if I can get the whole of Tondo contaminated, the whole of Pandakan, at the end of the day, mas marami ang kita ng buang kaysa mga rito. Now, there's no big time lang. And they are cooking it sometimes, ships, on board, lumuluto sila. Then they would go nearer to the boundary, itapon nilang yung shabu, balot ng plastic or bakal, ng drum. Lagyan nila ng GPS. So yung mga lieutenants, alam nila kung paano abutin yung in a jiffy. Faster than usual because of the GPS. And niluluto na nila. So, give us a break, kami taga-gobyerno. As long as the apparatus is there. Pero kung wala nang mag-accept ng delivery sa iyong basura, wala nang runner, I am sorry. Wrong. It is fundamentally wrong. Is it the only way? Up to this time, yes. I'm sorry. I cannot do that. Unless I can get hold of the entire gamut of the organized crime. Is Mexico into us? Yes. Ang Señalosa of Mexico, yung cartel nila. Tayo ang transshipment. Kasi in-interdict sila ng Amerikano, talagang binubumba sila. So dito sila sa transshipment. And for the Philippines, the right side hemisphere dito sa South America, active dito is the Señalosa. I'm telling you now. I will never foist a lie on you. That is the truth. Elections here, we will just have to educate our children. Until everybody is, and until the economy improves, they'd always be beholden to the feudal lords, and that is really the politicians. Ako lang ang nakalusot na, kasi sabi ko nga, destiny. But if you remember, for all of my faults, try to recall, even during the debates, if you're listening, I was the only one invoking the name of God. Diba? If God wills it, if I become May President, or if God wants me to be President, yun ang destiny doon. Wala akong pera, wala. But if God wants me to be President, I will be President. If God does not want me, I'm sorry. Hindi ko talaga papel yan sa buhay ko. And yet, I made it. Yung lahat na gusto ninyo, hindi mo na kailangan sabihin sa akin. I do not want corruption. Every meeting, I'd always say, please stop the smuggling. It's not you, but down the line, the lower echelons, yung implementation, dyan ang nakawan. Please see to it that it is delivered the rightful worker. You do not want oppressioner. I will never allow government to oppress people. You do not want lahat. Ayon, simply, you do not, gusto ninyo tama lang. So I'll give it to you. Yung tama na legal. Period. And if I go out there, come back here and shoot me, I'd be glad to go to heaven. I'm tired. I have been in the service of this government for 40 years. Hindi madali. It's by no means an easy thing to do. So wala na akong ambition because I have reached sagad na. Sabi ko nga, if you can amend the Constitution, and you can do it by 3 to 4 years, and you can elect a new president under a parliament like France, I will willingly give up the remaining years of my term. I'll go out. Walang drama, wala lahat. Magre-retire na ako. But I will be there to husband. So do not be afraid actually of whatever method that they would use. Because your guarantee is ako. I will never allow. Sabihin ko talaga sila, wag yan, kasi pag pinilit ninyo yan, sisirahan ko itong Congress, ulihin ko kayo lahat. Mamili kayo. O totoo. You do it properly, do not, wag mong lukuhin ang tao. Pag pinilit ninyo yan, sarado kayo lahat. So we'll talk of Congress 10 years from now. Matakot man yan. Ihalo ko kayo doon sa mga adik. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, for your very inspiring speech. and for taking the time actually to address all of us here, many of whom flew in just this morning from different parts of the Philippines to be with you this morning. Can we ask, please, request President Duterte to please remain on stage for the photo opportunity, along with Ambassador De Villa and along with Secretary Salvador, Executive Secretary Salvador C. Medialdia. Can we please invite Cluster 1 to come forward for the photo opportunity?
Cluster 2, get ready, please.
Cluster 2, please get ready. Okay, thank you very much. Okay.